Hey guys, it's Mr. V over here doing a book review today for Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. This is The Hunger Games Book 2. Before I get into my book review, I want you to know that I try to do a spoiler-free book review, so if you see me looking down, I just have notes, so I try not to give any spoilers away. So, let's get into the book review today for Catching Fire, The Hunger Games Part 2. Before you read this book, you definitely want to make sure you have read Part 1. So, Book 2, Catching Fire, the main premise for this book is now Katniss and Peeta have both won the Hunger Games, and they must do their victory tour and go to different districts and talk about the Hunger Games, and they are the winners, so they must talk about that. But as Katniss is going through the different districts, she starts to notice that some of the people in the districts are a little angry at the Capitol, and there's a little more unrest. And she has to make sure that nothing too crazy happens, or else the stakes will be high against her. So that is the main premise for the book. So when starting this book, I definitely wondered how they were going to continue, like how the author was going to continue. Because the Hunger Games was over, to where I thought, okay, what's going to happen now? But I thought that she did a great job of continuing and just like adding a lot of drama. Like I thought she did a great job right from the beginning. As I said, book 2, it starts out right where book 1 left off. And she is touring the different towns of the different districts. And, she's being celebrated. She's doing camera interviews. And she's basically a celebrity now. People want her autograph. They want to take pictures, things like that. She's just a celebrity. And Katniss does not like it, though. She hates it. Because while she is being celebrated, she's very angry at the Capitol. And she notices other people are getting angry at the Capitol, too. But she's seeing the parents of some of the people she had to kill. And she really hates that. And that's why she doesn't like that celebrity status. And now that she has won, they're in a nicer home and they give her money. Yet, she is still very upset at the Capitol at the way things are going. And again, she just does not like that celebrity status. So it definitely was very interesting how it just picks up. And right from chapter 1, you can see that. And even chapter 2, it was a very chilling chapter 2. The president of the Capitol, President Snow, he's introduced in chapter 2, and he just has this chilling feeling immediately. You just get this chilling feeling. And he's very angry at what Katniss did about, they're both going to take the berries and then they stopped it. Because the president is worried about that because people are getting angry at the Capitol and they're seeing what she did. So he's worried about uprisings. And he is not happy with her. So he basically tells her, you have to stop some of those, those feelings towards us. And while she hates the Capitol, she is worried that if she doesn't stop it and please the Capitol, she's worried for her family and what they will do against her family. And as I said, that's the main premise of it. And the other part of it, where Katniss is very angry about being the winner, is that she knows that she's going to now have to be a mentor or a trainer. In the previous book, the winner will always train the future people, and now she is going to be the one that has to be the mentor or trainer because she won. And she's not too happy about that aspect, about how she will have to train in the future. So, that's very fun in the book. And I would say that there was a very nice twist very early on. It's a slight spoiler. So if you don't want to hear the spoiler, fast forward about 30 seconds. But the slight spoiler is that they are coming up to the 75th anniversary of the Hunger Games. And every 25 years, they do something extra. And it's just a nice twist. And they do something extra that makes the Hunger Games even crazier. And I won't say what that is, but there was a nice twist that they threw in to make the Hunger Games different in this book, because this is the 75th anniversary. So that was a lot of fun. And I just felt, the book was a lot of fun. Just like the first book, it was a lot of fun. It was pretty solid fun. And I like that this book, she described things better. Because that was a complaint I had in book 1. I felt that she didn't describe certain things about the arena or, things like that. I felt that she described the characters better, and she just described the whole setting. She just described a lot of things better in this book. And, just made it much easier to picture and just envision a little more. And I think it was better that she described things better in this book, not only because it's, for her own reading sake, but it's because this book had multiple cool twists. Not just one, it had multiple twists. And I felt that everyone fit the story very well. I can't say much because I don't want to give spoilers away, but basically, there's many twists, yet the story was still very smooth. There was still a very smooth flow to the story, and nothing felt forced. Unlike in book 1, there was something that felt a little forced. This one, I didn't get the impression that anything felt forced. So that was a lot of fun. And because there's so many twists, there was always this continual wonder of what will happen. And every time something happens, it just opens up the door to a lot of other things that could happen. And you were always wondering, okay, what will happen? And it just made you wonder more and more. And again, it just, nothing felt forced, and it just fit the story very well. So that was a lot of fun. And also, one thing that was a lot of fun is it ended on a cliffhanger, which was, again, like right to the last word. It ended on a cliffhanger. So, and it makes you want to continue, because the end, you read it and it's a cliffhanger and it's like, oh, wow, to where you just want to continue. So that, again, was also a lot of fun. Now, as for her writing style, I thought this was a very well written book. It's very similar to book one. Basically, if you liked book one's writing style, this is the exact same writing style, and the way I said she describes things a little better in this one, but her writing style, the chapter length, most of the things are very similar to book one for the writing style, and she just made it very good, because this was just a story that flows very smoothly, and you just wanted to keep reading because she keeps you engaged. Great chapter length, just like book one. A lot of things were very similar in terms of the writing for that. So that was a lot of fun. And in this book, which was really cool, which you didn't get in book one, was there was many points in this book, you got this like chilling type of feeling. And it was like, because there are certain areas you'd be like, well, wow, that's pretty scary. And that happened a lot more here. And she just described it very well, to where when you were reading it, you got that feeling. And it made you want to continue. So that was also a lot of fun in this book. And, you know, overall, though, as I just said, you heard my opinion on the book. I still thought it was just a very fun book. It was a very solid book, you know. It was, if you liked book one, I think you'll definitely like book two, you know, because I definitely recommend it if you liked book one. But let me give it my official rating right now. So I always rate my books on a scale of 0 to 10, with a 0 being an awful book, a 5 is an average, and a 10 is a phenomenal book. If it gets anywhere near a 10, you should put that on your reading list, because a 5 is average, and I'm a pretty tough critic. So my official rating for The Hunger Games Part 2, Catching Fire, is going to be a 7. I almost moved it up to a 7.5, but I did a 7 just because I felt this was a very solid book and it was a lot of fun, but it didn't quite move up to the 7.5 range, but it almost did, because I felt the last quarter of the book was a lot of fun. And that's why it almost moved up, but it still didn't move up, so it still deserves a 7 though. But if you guys have any comments or questions, you know, please post it in the comment section below, because I'd love to hear your comments or your opinions on the book. I hope you guys click the subscribe button, as I always upload multiple different types of book reviews. But thank you for watching my book review today. This is Mr. V. Go enjoy reading.